Where no pony has gone before? Chapter 14. Kane paced back and forth. He stood in the hallway, just outside the room, with the mirror, Kirk, Spark, Mirror, and Twilight were there as well. He finally stopped in front of Twilight, crossed his arms, and glared down at her.
Let me see if I have this right. In reality, the Sunset Simmer resides in the entirety of the Federation, the Empire, perhaps all our galaxy. We are all fiction then?
Twilight made a stare. I've seen the footage, Captain. I know how insane it sounds. Believe me. I recently had my own view on the difference between reality and fiction shaken. Kirk spread his arms out. Kane, there's a speech from an old play that comes to mind. All the world's a stage, and Mara interrupted him. Yes, Kang and I know, and the people merely players. I too, scene 7 from As You Like It. We've seen the play as many times, Kirk. It does apply here, even if it's quite cliched. Spock and Kirk looked at her. Spock arched an eyebrow. I am rather surprised you two are familiar with that play, Mara.
Kane chuckled. Of course we all Spock. You should come with us to the first city to see it.
He glanced at Mara.
After all, you've never experienced a bond until you heard it in the original Klingонese.
Kirk and Spock looked towards each other. I'm sorry, what? Kirk asked, looking forward. Twilight looked towards the door. Okay, time to form the portal. Now, Sunset talked with Trixie about this, and they both promised to be on their best behavior. Still, her expression softened. Please don't be too harsh on either of them, all right? They're trying to help, and, well, you're all heroes to them. With that, she walked to the room, stood in front of the mirror, fired a beam from her horn at the crystal atop the mirror that connected the equestria to Canterlot High. Kane's eyes followed Twilight.
It's still unsettling. The Lord One is fiction, even if it is another reality.
He held up a hand.
Yes. I've heard the reports about the Terran Empire, and what happened near the Tholian Boran with the Defiant.
He jabbed a finger at Kirk.
But it is one thing to read dry checks, and another to experience it firsthand.
Iron's response was cut off as two ponies, one an alicorn and one unicorn, emerged from the mirror. Sunset Simmer walked out first, once more wearing her Starfleet costume. The second one, Trixie, wore a blue long-sleeved shirt, black pants, and had a huge grin on her face. Trixie's suitcase floated along beside them, found a distinctive glow of Sunset's magic. Trixie's eyes went back and forth. That was a lot smoother than I thought. Her legs stumbled slightly, but she regained her balance quickly enough. Trixie twisted her head around to look herself over. Just like you said, Sunset. This is... She held up a foreleg, looked over. Her eyes stopping at the hoof. The smile fell away, and her eyes wired. Oh, no! She hung her head. You're right, Sunset. I can't perform the Vulcan salute. Everyone in the hall slowly looked at Spock, who really stood there, eyebrows raised slightly. Sunset patted Trixie on the shoulder. Come on, Trixie. You and I both know that won't matter. She looked over to Twilight and nodded slightly. Twilight, good to see you again. She craned her neck in the general direction of the door. Are they... Trixie's ears swiveled about. She followed Sunset's line of sight and began walking in the direction of the door. Are who? You mean... She floated a half foot from the door. Trixie let out a gasp and kicked into the air. Hey! What gives? She grunted at her entrance. How do you activate this damned horn? Sunset floated her back down, but kept Trixie felt the magic. Okay, first off, how did you know you have a horn? Trixie rolled her eyes. I can feel the thing sticking out of my forehead! She glanced at Sunset. What? You can't feel it? Or those wings? Sunset blinked. Okay, I can see that point. Second is, remember what we talked about? These are real people, not the actors or actresses. You have to treat them with respect and not be overwhelming jerks. Trixie swelled. You're right, Sunset. Trixie, I'm sorry about that. She looked at Twilight, eyes wide. Oh, Twilight, Princess Sparkle. Twilight shook her head. Twilight is fine, Trixie. We're all friends, after all. She looked over her shoulder. Captains, Mr. Spock, Miss Mara, you can come in now. The quartet entered the room. Sunset's cheeks colored almost immediately. Trixie, meanwhile, stood stock still, eyes wide, over the red stunned expression on her face. Her mouth opened slightly, then shut with an audible clack. Kang looked from Trixie to Sunset to Twilight.
I am Kang, son of Kai.
Trixie thumped her chest with a hoof, steadying for a leg.
Tenía Tasnia So King. Kundo Kia Tia Kulun.
Kang reluctantly returned to salute.
Glory to you, Trixie Lulamoo, and to you, Sunset Simmer.
He went back to Trixie.
Not bad, although there's still a hint of a Terran accent.
For all of you people out there who probably don't speak Klingon or don't have Klingonese translator like I do on my phone, she just said that she is Trixie, House of Lulamoon, and she wishes glory to Kang and his people. What? I speak Klingon! Sunset glanced up at Kang. Captain, sir, Twilight told me you and Mara would be about this whole thing. The suitcase floated up and popped open. You're still confused about it. Don't feel bad. It's a little murky to everyone else. Her brow furrowed. There's a line for a play. Perhaps you heard.
Kang threw his arms up. Are you Earthers incapable of referencing anything other than Shakespeare?
Sunset chuckled. Fair enough, Captain. How about Lewis Carroll then? Are you the dreamer, or merely part of someone else's dream? Without waiting to reply, she opened the suitcase and floated several cases out of it. All right. We have the entirety of the Star Trek television series. She sorted the cases of 7 groups, then paused, such a blink. Trixie, that's your cue. She went to her right. Trixie? Trixie stared up, her eyes locked on Spock. Her mouth slowly opened as she mumbled incoherently. Let's start. She closed her eyes and shook her head. Yeah! I am so sorry about that. She sorted the cases. Those are... She scratched her face over concentration. They're divided up by series in the movies. The original and the animated series. Those cover your 5-year mission, Captain. Then there were 6 movies. She paused over her hip, bit her lip before continuing. Then the Next Generation, which covers the USS Enterprise NCC-1701D. Kirk eyebrows shut up. The D. He looked to Spock, grinning. Quite the honor that they kept our registry number, wouldn't you see? Spock nodded. Agreed, Captain. Makes one wonder what we shall do in the future to earn such an honor. Trixie opened her mouth, but suddenly felt a hoof in it. Her eyes buzzed out slightly as he breathed around the hoof. Everyone stared at her for a moment. Mara held a tricorder and turned it on. I'm breathing an elevated heartbeat from her, as well as increased breathing activity. Are you well, Miss Lulamoon? Sunset slowly extended a ring over Trixie. Breathe in, breathe out. It's all right. Would you like me to continue?
Kang grunted, crossed his arms over his chest. To be treated in a manner such is so undignified. Can she not control her impulses?
Mara rolled her eyes. And how would you react, dear husband, if you met Captain Koth of the battlecruiser Vengeance? Kang's countenance darkened, but he remained silent. Trixie removed her hoof. Okay, Deep Space Nine is about a space station on the edge of the Federation space. That's the one with Cisco, who you met during the trouble with Tribbles. Voyager is about a ship in the Delta Quadrant, and Enterprise is about the NX-01. Trixie, as she says, you hold back and don't say a single word about the quality of either of those shows. We could be here all day. What? I didn't say a word about my feelings about the shows. I just said, let's not start getting into any debates. Kirk nodded. Archer's ship. Required reading at the Academy. Kang's expressing enlightened slightly.
Wait, Tribbles? This was a mission the Enterprise was on.
And Trixie's nod, he stroked his beard.
I remember Kola telling me about that. And that idiot spy followed things up, thanks to those damnable pests.
He shook his head, smile falling away as quickly as it came.
Now they infest our food production worlds, and even with the glamour, we can barely keep up and exterminate them.
Twice expressive fell. Oh, sorry to hear, she rubbed her chin. You know, we do know a thing or three about dealing with pests. Things work out. Maybe we could send some help your way.
King leaned back slightly. You would do this for us. What if our negotiations don't work out?
Twilight shrugged. We would still like to help. What are friends for?
King stared at her, brow furrowed slightly.
Sunset, meanwhile, opened up one of the cases and gently extracted a silver disc from it. Okay, here's the first disc. Disc 1 of Star Trek The Universal Series. She turned and read out the episode titles. Mr. Spock, are you ready? Spock stepped forward and knelt down. He put his tricorder on and Suster wound up.
The tricorder is now ready to copy the data, Miss Summer.
He waved the wand over the disc, while his eyes were glued to the small screen embedded in the tricorder.
Your disc is finished, Miss Summer. Next one, please.
Sunset folded the recorded disc back to the case and folded the next one up. So he repeated the procedure, finishing the case rather quickly. I must say, Mr. Spock, that went quicker than I thought. Trixie nickered. They may look like they were made in the 1960s, but that equipment's very advanced. Suggested Mara. So, will you be recording any of this too? As everyone went to her, she said, What?
Kang nodded to her. She has a point. I am glad to have been let know of this. But we are to have this information too. Is there anything of value to the Empire?
Sunset and Tracy exchanged a look. Considering what's coming down the pipe, I think it'd be a good idea. Tracy said. Sunset looked at Kang. There's other, more personal stuff, she said in a breath. Kang, Mara, in the future, an albino Klingon pirate will kill your child, along with the children of Koloth and Kor.
Kang and Mara exchanged a look. Kang slowly shook his head. We have no son.
Kirk just stepped to Kang's side. Kang, I may be missing something here, but this is your son. How can you dismiss him like that?
Kang looked slowly to Kirk. I spoke clearly, Kirk. Mara and I have talked about it, but we have no children.
His expression turned to one of surprise, a little more than a son.
A son? We'll have a son? His mouth turned into a wide grin. A son! To carry on my name! A son!
He spun around, dropped to one knee in front of Sunset.
What do you two know about what he will do to our children?
Sunset's gaze turned distant for a moment. In 2290, you three will break up his power base, but fail to capture or kill him. In revenge, he'll infect your children with a genetic virus through you. His name is Quark. A key component of the virus comes from Omega-4. She sucked in her breath and turned her head to her right. Captain Kirk, I feel it appropriate to tell you. He'll try and infect Hikaru Sulu to strike at his future daughter, Gamora. Fortunately, he'll turn out to be immune to it, having due to exposed elements on Omega-4. A book with a title, Force and Fire, floated out of a suitcase, along with another case. A lot of the information is here, along with an episode DS9. The case opened and it detached itself from its holster. Okay, so I gotta check this episode up! Okay, make a note here. Your success.
Spock spoke up. Captain, I believe it's necessary to make all attempts to stop this clock and safeguard Master Sulu from potential harm.
Mara's face twisted in rage. Her free hand clenched. Tight enough so blood dribbled down the palm of her hand. She abruptly stepped up. I will find this albino and carve his heart out and eat it in front of him as he dies. King placed a hand on Mara's shoulder.
No, Mara. We will carve his heart out together.
Sunset slowly nodded. That sounds... Her head shot to Twilight's direction. Princess' head was down slightly. Eyes narrowed. Twilight? Trixie carried around to Twilight's side, seemingly in close. Twilight, are you... Alright. I know that their reaction seems a bit extreme. Kang's face flushed. Excuse me? Trixie continued. This is their culture, though. And the albino is threatening their family. Twilight's head slowly rose. Yes? She looked for Trixie's Sunset. I fully understand their reactions. This albino threatens their future children because they dared to stop him from being a pirate. She paused and thought. A few years ago, Princess Keynes, there were some problems in the planning and preparation. Long story short, I thought Keynes was using Shiny for some nefarious purposes. Turns out the pony I thought was Keynes was an imposter. Can't long story. But one I'll tell. She said to her breath. When I found Cadence, the real Cadence, I was fully ready to blow a hole in her head. Fortunately, she convinced me she was the real one. But I still don't understand how they feel. Sunset stared at her for a long moment. Well, Twilight, that's not exactly what I expected you to say. Twilight looked at her, winking. I'm a little more open to their ways thinking than you might think. She looked back up at King and Mara. No matter what, you've got friends in Equestria that will help you and any future children you'll have. You have my word of honor on that. Kirk spoke up. King, Mara, if there's any help I can offer, and any at all, I too offer it. No one should lose their child, especially not like that. Tracy bit her lip, teeth puffing out. Sunset eyed her, but remained silent as possible. King slowly turned to face Kirk. He stared at the captain, expressing neutral as possible.
We would not be averse to your aid, Captain. Not in a matter like this.
Tracy took a step forward. Captain, you may keep my copy, if you don't need to. If I don't know how long you or Mara would need to agree to it, or how you would be able to arrange to get back to me. So please keep it as a gift. She went to Sunset. Could you please? I don't trust myself not to hurl the book in their faces. Sunset's horn glowed, and the book floated over to King. Stetson in midair began rifling through the pages. You can read English?
King snorted. We do have universal translators, Sunset Super.
Closely looked down at her.
But yes, I can read this. He cursed back to Kirk. As a wise human once said, know your enemies.
Sunset looked to Tracy, who was still biting her lip. Captain Kirk, first off, I believe it would be advisable for Mara to copy the information on the desk. There's information about the Empire, and I do trust at least two of them enough to be able to deal with the information properly. Kirk nodded. I also trust Captain K in this regard. To do the right thing. He mouthed to Mara. I won't stop you. For the next several minutes, Mara and Spock waited to tricorder sensor wands over the desks for Trixie's license. After the last disk of information was copied, the two stood up. Spock flipped his tricorder flap and closed, and went to Kirk. With your permission, Captain, I shall prepare this information to be sent to Starfleet Command upon arrival to the Enterprise. Kirk rubbed his chin. Yes, Mr. Spock. However, make an additional copy and keep that one on board. He half smiled. Just for safekeeping. Spock raised an eyebrow.
Understood, Captain.
King activated his communicator.
Prepare for transport.
He held the book up.
Thank you for this. Mara and I are in your debt.
Kirk held to hang up. King, I would like to read that book too, after you're done with. Sulu's life may be in jeopardy as well as the life of his daughter. King cut his eyes somewhat wide. He took the book, then Kirk.
You shall have this in your hand before my ship leaves the ecosystem. I swear to that to you, Kirk.
He activated his communicator once more.
Energize!
As the two Klingons transported away, Kirk knelt down. Trixie, Sunset, I thank you for this valuable information. I'm not fully sure how it will be used, but rest assured, it won't be thrown or filed away to gather dust somewhere. Sunset stared at Kirk, eyes wide. Thank you, Captain. I think I can speak for Trixie and myself when I say I'm pleased not to hear it say that. Trixie's head's bobbing down. Yes, she does speak for me, Captain. I am so glad to help you meet you and Mr. Spock. I just want to tell you how awesome and cool you two are. I still remember the first time. Her voice trailed off. She sniffed her eyes so I. Trixie is sorry. That was stupid of me to say. She watched in the mirror, head hung low, cheeks burning. Sunset grinned sheepishly, her own face slightly blushed. Sorry about that. Tracy really does look up to you and the entire crew. This is kind of restrained compared to how she was on the other side of the mirror. She walked over to Trixie, leaned in close and draped a wing over her. Cook shook his head. As I've said before, Miss Shimmer, no apology necessary. He smiled. Better than hating us, at least. He turned his head. Don't you agree, Spock? Spock nodded to Kirk. A logical look at Captain. One I agree with. Sunset looked to her right, then to the mirror. Maybe it's time we go back to our own reality. I think for the moment we've done all we can. Trixie's head bobbed down slightly, but her eyes remained transfixed on the floor. Kirk stood up. Very well, Sunset. I do thank you both, again, for doing this. Twice horn lit up. She reactivated her mirror. She hugged Sunset, patted Trixie on the back. Thanks for doing this, you two. Trixie? She waited for Trixie's head to tilt up before continuing. My personal hero is a unicorn named Star Swirly Bearded. I think if I met him in the flesh, I'd fan feeling over him even more than you. Trixie nickered. Thank you, Twilight. She glanced at Kirk and Spock's general direction. I'll get you a copy of that book if I can. And Mr. Spock. Spock took a step forward. Yes, Miss Little Moon. Trixie took in a sorry breath. Some of the things from later installments of the franchise will be a bit shocking to you, and to Captain Kirk, and to others. Spock slowly nodded. I shall keep that in mind. Thank you. Sunset and Trixie walked through the vortex in the mirror. Fantasy from Equestria. A half second later, the vortex itself vanished, separating the realities once more. Spock held his tricorder up. Captain, when we return to the Enterprise, I shall begin an immediate analysis of this data. Kirk nodded. He looked down to Twilight, rubbing his chin. Twilight, would it be possible for you to cross through the mirror without anyone on the other side noticing your arrival? Twilight eyed him. I suppose, but why? Kirk explained his idea. With sword, Twilight's expression brightened. I'll do my best, she said, smiling brightly. Kirk clicked his communicator as well before it opened. Kirk to Enterprise. Stand by to beam up landing party. He bowed his head to Twilight. By your leave. Twilight chuckled, returning to Brow. By my leave, Captain. Bye for now. Thank you. Enterprise, energize. Thanks to Talon of Force, Sun Tzu, Folstaff for helping with the proofreading of Pre-Yang. And thanks to Folstaff for help with Twilight's reaction to you on Kangan Mara. The book references a real one. Excelsior, Force and Fire. I've got to read that. Chapter 15. Kirk made his way to the briefing room 3, pad in hand. It was the next day, by ship time, and the Alpha shift was about to start. He slowed down slightly as Spock appeared at the intersection. Mr. Spock, good morning, he said, as he renewed his normal gait. Spock right by his side. How goes the research? Any spoils? Spock glanced at Kirk. I believe it would be more prudent to wait until the meeting, Captain. Miss Lumoon and Miss Shimmer were both correct. There would be shocking things in later installments. Any further conversation was curtailed as they stopped entering the briefing room. Bones and Scotty were already sitting conversing. A few seconds later, Uhura, Sulu, and Chekhov walked in. All 7 officers sat around the center of the room. Kirk spoke first. Now then, Mr. Spock, you have a report on the information for the television show.
Bones leaned forward. Been looking forward to that. Wonder what hands the devil they got to play me.
Yes, smirking. Spock looked across the table at Bones. For the record, Doctor, DeForest Kelly played your character. He slid a data slot to the table. A 3-screen monitor in the center lit up. By viewing the episodes at twice the normal speed, and with subtitles activated, I was able to view 15 episodes of the original live-action series, several episodes of the animated series whose descriptions match incidents which have already occurred, and the first 3 movies. He paused for a moment. The episodes I have viewed, barring technical limitations of the media and time period they were made in, have a close to 99% match to the events that happened in our reality. Mr. Spock, I had to ask, your opinion of the first movie? It was quite engaging, very intelligent, and thought-provoking. I found it to be very enlightening of sorts. That's Vulcan for it sucked, isn't it? If you wish to interpret it that way. While Spock spoke, the 3 screens lit up, showing images of a model of the Enterprise flying by a planet, then changing to what appeared to be a bridge. At least, a set made up like the Enterprise's bridge. Sulu leaned forward. So it's true. He looked up, face ashen. Demora, he whispered. Kirk held him a hand. Sulu, we'll do whatever is necessary to safeguard her, and you. Sulu nodded. Thank you, Captain. If it would be all right, I'd like to send a message to my family after my shift. Kirk shook his head. No, Mr. Sulu. You may send your message after the meeting is over. This isn't something to be delayed. Sulu's expression brightened, if only a little. Thank you, sir. He really did, and looked at the monitor facing her. Mr. Spock, I'm not seeing any non-human in these images. President Company accepted, though. Chekhov shrugged. Well, as Mr. Spock said, it's probably technical limitations of the time. He raised his hand, wagging a finger. Now, if this show was made in Russia, it would be indistinguishable from us. Alright, glanced down. We'll keep that in mind, Pavel. Sue leaned forward and peered at the monitor.
If I remember, in the time period the show was made, there were no computer-generated graphics. It was all practical effects, makeup, that sort of thing.
Spock slid out the card slot and held out another one. He looked over to Kirk. Captain, the first 3 movies contain some rather important information about future events. This information could prove vital to the survival of the Federation. However, before I proceed, some of the information is somewhat sensitive and personal in nature. I would like your permission before proceeding. Kirk hesitated for a moment, but waved him on. Go on ahead, Spock. The future of the Federation is too important.
Bones spoke up. Jim, are you sure? I mean, if Spock's thinking of asking your permission about it, I wouldn't take it too likely.
Kirk shook his head. I appreciate that, Bones. But Spock said it could prove vital to the security of the Federation. I could take a little discomfort. He looked at Spock. Go ahead, Spock. Spock inserted another card in the table slot. The first movie deals with an ancient space probe from Earth known as Voyager 6. It had apparently fallen through a wormhole, emerged on the other side of the galaxy, and was discovered by an alien civilization of living machines. I want to say I buy into the theory that those living machines was in fact the Borg. They upgraded the probe, then sent it on its way. Even as I speak, it seeks to return to Soycer's creation, to ask of its creators why it was created. Aurora tapped a fingernail on the table. The most basic question of all. Who am I? Spock nodded to her. Correct, Commander. Looked at Kirk. The Enterprise will be sent to intercept Voyager 3 years from now on stardate 4710.2. It is impossible to fight, Captain. However, the movie shows it's possible to communicate with Voyager. That is our best and only real option available to us. Kirk nodded. I agree, Spock. Work on that as best as you can. Maybe we could talk to Trixie or Shimmer, get some more details, if any. Spock paused for a moment before continuing. The next movie takes place on and around stardate 8130.3. It is called The Wrath of Khan. While he spoke, the monitor changed to show the image of a much older Khan Kunin Singh. AKA my favorite sci-fi movie of all time! And my favorite Star Trek movie. I love it that much. Kirk leaned forward. Wrath of Khan, Spock? His hand waved a bit in the air. What in the great burn of the galaxy happened? Spock slid out one card and placed it with another. The image changed to that of a star system. Pressed several buttons on a control panel next to a slot. Zoomed in on 2 planets in close proximity to each other. Approximately 6 months after Yuri exiled Khan to Zeta Alpha 5, Zeta Alpha 6 exploded, shifting the orbit of the former and devastating the ecosystem. Sulu glanced down at the monitor. That means he spent 18 years living in a wasteland, and we never checked up on him. He looked at Spock. How did he get off planet, and what did he do? The USS Reliant was sent there as part of the Project Genesis. Spock responded. Due to the incomplete mapping of the system, they will mistake Zeta Alpha 5 for Destroid 6. They'll hijack the ship and take it to Regular 1 in an attempt to steal the Genesis device. Kirk brow furrowed. Genesis device? Spock laced his fingers together. It is the key to Project Genesis, a new form of terraforming. It is headed by Dr. Carol Marcus and David Marcus. Kirk's face turned acid. Carol and David Marcus? Yeah, Kirk! One of your little flings just came right back to bite you, didn't it? Brown's brow furrowed.
Jim, you alright?
Kirk glanced at Bones' general direction. Eyes focused on some spot in the past and his friend. Gary Mitchell introduced me to a little blonde lab technician once. A small smile briefly crossed his face. I almost married her. He focused on Bones. Carol and I had a son, David, as you should be able to guess. We both realized we loved our careers more than each other, so we decided to separate, and it would be better for her to raise David instead of me. Bones tilted his head back and forth.
Reasonable decision, all things considered. My ex-wife and I reached the same conclusion about our child Jonah.
He slapped his hands on the table.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Everyone looked at Bones. Waiting for what, Spock? Doctor. Spock gasped, touching an eyebrow. Bones stared across the table at Spock, eyes wide.
What in God's name do you think I'm talking about, Spock? We've got to go and rescue those people. If not us, then at least another ship.
Spock spoke. And do what with them, Doctor? You must consider our options before deciding on a course of action. Kirk held up a hand and spoke before Bones could. Calm down, Bones. I agree with you. Leaving them there would be cruel. They haven't done anything yet. Still, if we go in there without some sort of plan, it's possible the events of the movie would simply happen far earlier. We'll do something, but we'll try and make sure it's the best thing. Is anybody curious why we love Kirk or the crew of the Enterprise? They're given that this evil being is on Zeta Alpha 5 somewhere, waiting in the shadows. And are they scared? No! Do they plan on killing them like ruthless barbarians? No! What do? They plan on going off, saving those people, and thinking of how to make things better! Because that is what Star Trek's all about! Yeah! Bones opened his mouth, but stopped short of speaking. He finally nodded.
Well, alright then.
Kirk glanced at Spock. Anything else concerning this movie? Spock nodded slightly. The ship will be hijacked by Khan and his followers. It's the USS Reliant. It appears to be a Miranda-class starship, albeit one that has undergone extensive upgrades. He looked across the table. Mr. Chekhov will be the ship's first officer. Our current transport chief, Winston Kyle, is the Reliant's second officer. Chekhov grinned. Me, first officer? He said, Of course. The grin fell away. Wait, what happens to me? I mean my character. Pause for a moment. It's Mr. Kyle, of course. Spock directed a withering glare at the young officer. Mr. Kyle and most of the Reliant crew were stranded on Zeta Alpha 5. Khan will use a parasite known as Zeta Eel to coerce you and the ship's captain to aid him in his rampage. He paused for a slice of moments, so short he only knew him best when detected. Khan will eventually be stopped in the Mutara Nebula, but the cost will be high. Among those killed will be myself. You know, it sounds like this. I'm sad I'm not Nimoy. I can just imagine he could pause right here at the right moment to show that he's conflicted by that moment, by that scene alone. Bones' eyes widened to the proximate with the saucers, slammed a hand on the table, sending everyone jumping.
What the hell, Spock? You died because of this! How in God's name can you stand there so calmly, reading that?
He looked at Kirk.
Jim, by God, we gotta stop this!
Kirk got to his feet. Bones, calm down. That's an order. He looked at Spock. He held his hand, even as the other 5 officers ready to speak. Calm down, calm down. We won't get anything accomplished by tugging over each other, losing our heads. His head turned softly in Spock's direction. Mr. Spock, barring anything urgent, you are to finish as many episodes and movies as possible, and report ready on your recommended courses of action. Talk with whoever you have to. Use whatever resources you deem necessary. But I want that report in 24 hours. Understood? Spock nodded. Understood, Captain. He glanced across the table. Dr. McCoy, I do thank you for your passion in making sure I survive. However, if necessary, I will sacrifice myself. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Bones grunted. Maybe so, but there's no need to. You shouldn't have to sacrifice yourself. It would be illogical to waste such a resource as the finest officer of the fleet.
Spock arched an eyebrow. A very astute observation, Doctor. Kirk barked a nervous laugh. Now I see why neither Sunset nor Trixie was to divulge this information publicly. Let's around the table. All right, we've got work to do. Mr. Scott, Princess Sparkle, and some of her friends will be taking a tour of the Enterprise later today. That will probably include Bay Engineering. Scotty groaned.
Aye, sir. That makes a lot of vehicles about today.
Kirk smiled. Good idea. Dismissed. 5 of the 7 occupants of the room rose from the table and made their way to the door. Whoever placed a hand on Sulu's shoulder. Hikaru, before you leave for the Yanquist system, I'll set up a real-time transmission with your family.
Hikaru smiled. Thanks, Nyota.
Kirk wants to go. He glanced at Spock, still sitting at the table. Spock, the third movie. I'm guessing what happened in there is even worse. What happened in it? Spock glanced up, feeling to miss Kirk's eyes. Captain, if we were able to prevent the actions of Khan in the second movie, then there is a 99% chance that the third movie will fail to come to pass. Kirk got understood. What happened? Spock slowly rose to his feet. Khan will have detonated a Genesis device inside the Mutara Nebula, creating a new world. Kirk's brow furrowed. A new world? Spock nodded. Is complicated. Moving on. My body will be given a burial in space. It will land on a planet and it will be regenerated and brought back to life. You will be respected by my father to go and retrieve my body. The reasons would be personal, dealing with rather private matters of Vulcan culture. Kirk nodded. Fair enough, Spock. All things willing, I won't need to know about those private matters. Indeed. His expression darkened. All right, Spock. What is it? I've known you too well not to know when you're hiding something. If the timeline is not altered for the events of the movie, Spock began, and you and the other senior officers will hijack the Enterprise and take it to the Genesis planet. There, it will encounter a Klingon bird of prey. That bird of prey will already destroy the USS Grissom, stranding Lieutenant Saavik and David there. The Klingon captain, Kirk, will order one of his men to kill one of their prisoners. David will attack the Klingon before he chooses, sacrificing his life to save Saavik's. The color drained from Kirk's face. He stepped back, his hip brushing against the table. Spock's arm sneaked out as he grabbed Kirk's right arm before the captain could fall to the deck. He almost gently held Kirk to the chair. Klingon! Killed my son! Killed my son! He mumbled, eyes on focus. Spock stood there, hand on Kirk's shoulder. Captain, Jim, I'm sorry for this news. With the knowledge we have, the odds are that the exact same events will play out rapidly dwindling. At the moment, I cannot even calculate such odds. Kirk glanced up, not quite focusing on Spock. He forced a smile. Thank you, Spock. I'll keep that in mind. Anything else at the moment? Spock paused. At the moment, no, Captain. Permission to return to the viewing. Hey, can I do it too? I mean, you're about to get to number 4, and I really enjoyed that one. And if I may advise, why did Trixie let them have movie 5? That one sucked! Kirk nodded. Granted, Spock, and thank you. He barely registered the intercom. After a moment, he finally stood up and walked over to the compound on the bulkhead. Kirk. Captain, Lieutenant Morris here. We're receiving a signal from the Pride. Captain Kane wishes to speak with you. Kirk nodded. Thank you, Lieutenant. Put him through.
Kane's voice came through the speaker. Kirk! I have copied the complete text of the book Trixie Littlemoon gave me. When you are ready, I shall have it beamed towards your Enterprise.
Kirk's mouth worked out for him. Thank you, Kane. We'll put it to good use.
Excellent, Kirk. I perused some of the vehicular releases. Nothing major. That's what Mara and Kina are doing. However, something's caught my attention. Tell me, Kirk, do you wish to know of a Klingon captain named Krug?
Kirk stiffened. What are you offering, Kane?
As you said, no one's so experienced the pain of losing their child. You offer to aid me to protect my future son. I offer you aid in protecting your son. Will you accept?
Kirk straightened up, eyes lit with on fire. I accept, Kane, and thank you. Thanks to Talon and Fuller, Sun Tzu, M.E. Lovecoat, and Foles help with proofreading. Thanks to M.E. Lovecoat and Foles help for specific help with the meeting. And Stasis and Cannon, we're off the rails now. Good! I don't like staying to the rails.